Welcome to the Law's Reef House. This is Ken Law, and this is my 125 gallon reef tank. This is what it was, and this is what it looks like now. Let's see what happened, where I'm at, and where this tank is going. What's up, YouTube? This is my 125 reef tank. Just threw in some seaweed, a little bit of TDO Chroma Boost. Get them feeding here for a little bit, show off some of the fish I got going. This is my 125 gallon reef tank. This thing has gone through a lot of changes. It's about 2 years old. Crashed out about a year ago with a nitrate bomb. Kind of go over everything I got going on. Everything has been changing. Fox face is going crazy. And the tangs are getting in there. We got a couple other guys you wouldn't even think that would eat this stuff. I don't know where the Harlequin tusk hiding, but he loves to munch on that as well. Got tons of fish in this tank. Nice variety. Got the female dragonette down there. Got a big bubble tip anemone, a green one. Our clownfish, my son named Paul and Poopy. And then we got a red anemone. Used to look as nice as this one, but we had a nitrate bomb go off. I ran a canister filter before I knew any better. That thing split into three. Two eventually walked off and never be seen again. And then we also got the rainbow one. That one split. Was able to get the other baby out of there, and that one still seems to be doing good. This one's starting to look better every week, every month. As we all know, it's a slow process and everything. Kind of show you some of the stuff I got on my reef tank. This is the culprit. I'm still running it, but it's more for the power head now and just a little bit of biomedia. Just running a few filter pads and mostly biospheres in there. And I did not clean that thing for probably 3 or 4 months. And before I know it, corals weren't looking good, wasn't testing, was working way too much. Noticed nitrates were creeping up to 40, and almost all my corals were starting to look pretty sad. Few of them didn't mind too much, mostly the soft corals. We got the green mushroom there. That thing's looking good. Got to clean the glass, just put some food in there, so got a little streak going on. Got some new leather corals, hoping to see how the toadstool grows on there. Got some long-nosed hawkfish. Got the angelfish, flame angel. There's the Harlequin tusk trying to hide from the camera. The yellow tang, the yellow eye coal tang, the bluehead wrasse. Got 2 anthias in there. There's the male red dragonette, just hanging out. A few coral fragments. Really trying not to put my hands in here. I'm a professional painter and drywaller, so my hands are always pretty nasty. Coming around for power heads, I run an MP40. Got the FX6. I gotta clean that glass over there. That coralline algae is just getting thick. Kind of the old school badge of honor, first thing I ever grew, so haven't scraped it off. Looks better than the picture that was falling off the back there. Not too many corals in here. Got the cabbage that did not mind the nitrate bomb at all. That thing kept growing. Another mushroom up here. That thing is getting bigger every month as well. I didn't know any better. I bought probably 15 of those guys. Had them nice little mushroom garden going on. And they blew everywhere. Didn't know you couldn't glue them. One ended up growing out of the rock, and it was just a little speck, and now that thing is taking over. Between that and the anemone, they just seem to be doing okay right now, so we'll see what goes on there. I figure if the anemone gets mad, it can at least walk away. The big fox face was one of my first bigger fish I ever had. This started off as a 55-gallon tank, and I quickly soon realized I did not like cleaning in between that tight spaces of 12 inches. We upgraded to the 125, and like everything else, I want to upgrade now to another one. This is one of 3 reef tanks in our house. We'll do updates on those later. There's my Harlequin Tusk. We've had him since he was probably half an inch long last year. February, I think it was. Yeah, February 2019. He's finally getting a lot of color on him. He had a lot of gray. And he eats the seaweed along with all the other tangs. I see him nipping at algae on the rocks. I think he thinks he's a tang most days. But as you'll see, I don't have any cleaner shrimp. My hermit crabs are pretty sparse, so I don't get to even replenish them that much anymore because he takes care of most of them. Got the blenny who likes to come in and just check things out. Got the blue-green chromies, clownfish. There's the blenny just hiding in his little holes he likes to do. Always got to have a blenny in my reef tanks when they're anything bigger than 30 gallons. Got some zoanthus up here. This is actually from my other tank. They weren't looking too good. They're doing good in here. But if I ever try to get 1 or 2 polyps, you can see the empty frag plug. Somebody, probably the fox face or that angel who just swam by, is the culprit, but they will eat them off so fast. Then the dotty backs, I got 2 of them, and they got introduced at the same time, and they could care less about each other. I've never had an issue. I have had 0 aggression in this tank, which has been really nice. Some pajama cardinals. Got the green wrasse in there. That guy is the old man of the tank. He was at the local fish store, I think, for about 2.5 years in the reef tank until they finally pulled him out and put him up for sale. And I was lucky enough to walk in that day, and as always, another impulse buy. But he's been awesome. I'm always a fan of the long-nosed hawkfish, though. Now you can see on the bottom there my wave makers, the MP40 and the Tunzi Nano Stream, which isn't so nano, I found out. Pushes all that sand, so I've just kind of let it make its own little valley there. Now these frog spawns have been able to survive the nitrate bomb. This leather coral has been doing alright. Now these mushrooms, they held on. Got 2 little ones now. They were never as big since the day I bought them. There is a leather coral back here. You can't really see it in here, but maybe in an update in the future you'll be able to see how big this is. Now, like I said, I got the canister filter. We were running hang on the back gear when I first started. Got the Reef Octopus 1000. This thing skims like crazy. A little too much. And I didn't know any better. This is really my learning curve tank. I've been in the hobby for just over 2 years now. And if you can see the staining on the wall, that is the protein skimmer exploding. And luckily, like I said, I'm a drywall painter. So if you guys ever want to see how to repair any of that stuff, you let me know. I'll get you the right products and guide you in the right direction, because once we finally move out of here, we'll be able to clean that up. You won't ever know a fish tank was here. Now I'm running the lights. I got the hybrid, T5 hybrid. Mainly these T5 blue ATI Blue Plus bulbs are powering everything. And these are 2 current USAs. Once again, this is one of those rookie mistakes I did. I bought these 2 lights thinking it would be great. It was okay on the 55. Could not hold anything for the 125. And our first coral show, we went a little nuts and bought a ton of coral. And we wanted to upgrade lights quick. I've never gotten anything upgraded on the LED side. But at this point, I've turned this tank into what I'm hoping to be the soft coral tank of the house. We do have the other 2 tanks, which we'll go over later. So with the hang on the back, the MP40, the Tunzi, and the FX6, that's pushing all the water And as far as I can tell in this tank, I'm not having any flow issues. If anything, I have too much flow in certain spots, which is never a bad thing. And that anemone goes crazy in it, looks good, hasn't moved in well over a year. None of these anemones have moved except for when they wanted to, these two wanted to split. Like I said, red went to 3, the rainbow went to 2, and that was right as the nitrate bomb went off. Moral of that story, watch your filtration if you're going to use canisters and clean those things up, because they will do damage on a reef tank fast. I always think the term crash is kind of loose. We can always repair it as long as we give it the patience it needs and know that it took a while to damage our tanks, and it's just going to take a long time to get them back. This has been rebuilding now for probably 8 months, I would say. But then what I did to try to combat the nitrate issue was add in a Refugium. So we got the hang on the back skimmer, or hang on the back overflow, and that's cranking down here. Let me step over this way, running off an aqua lifter. Now I got one of these Petco tanks, and I'll back up here real quick. If you see here, there is no room for a sump on this thing. The FX6 is down here, a little bit of storage space for whatever you need to keep down here. This is my rat's nest after adding it. Let's see if one day I can get this cleaned up. Running the ice cap though, gotta have the battery backup. I live out in the country, so if I have my power go out, they are not coming for 2 days at least to come help me out here. So that's a big mess down there. But this overflow runs down in here into a 40-gallon breeder's feeder that we turned into a sump with a bucket filter. Just got a bunch of holes drilled down there, some more biospheres inside the bucket, more in here, and then a 600-watt grow light. Some tubes in the way there. And that 600-watt grow light really produces some light, and we've gone as far now to just use the overspill of the light, which not too much gets out of this little closet, but we even grow herbs in the closet now. We got all of our mustards, chives, cilantro, just some little things we like to have growing. Might as well take advantage of what we got going on here. Once again, using some Current USA return pump. That thing is really quiet. Don't got anything bad to say about that one. The lights weren't powerful enough, but you know, you live and you learn. Don't buy cheap or you'll buy it twice. Now in here we got tons of stuff going on. We got sea lettuce, tons of that. Honestly, I bought the mystery packs, like 5 of them from Algae Barn. I don't even know what half of this is called. Got the dragon's breath. These are growing out really nice. And this is just one of those little tiny balls of Chaeto. And this thing is massive now. That's just that little jar. So it took a while to grow everything out, but once it's growing, it's thriving. I gotta constantly be harvesting in here, and it's just been a good nutrient export. I run a 600-watt heater in here now, which is nice to hide it inside of a sump. That's the biggest thing, is hiding all my equipment, and I learned that on my future builds. And then I got the BRS titanium heater, 600 watt with the BRS controller. You'll notice when you see my other tanks I have, there's a lot of BRS equipment I use. I just run a BRS 2-part with the Tropic Marine trace elements. I honestly don't use that often, just mostly the 2-part. Just want to show everyone my reef tank here, what we got going on. You guys like anything you see, you want more details about it, stocking orders, my experiences, to be kind of more of a vlog or blog, whatever you call it now, I don't know. It's a YouTube series that I want to start and just show all the tanks we got here. We got 3 of them running right now. Probably the next one will be a frag tank, but all the fish have always been happy and healthy in here. We've quarantined almost every fish. Once again, one of the other things I learned the hard way. I've learned most things in this hobby the hard way, so I don't mind showing my failures, some successes, a lot of failures, but learning not to overreact when things happen, keep my hands out of the tank as much as possible, put my hand in to show you the Chato, so that'll be the last time I put my hands in here for a little while. But the sand bed, like I said, gets blown around, tons of coralline algae growing, and soft corals seem harder to find than they are the SPS and everything else, so this is not going to be my SPS tank. Nitrates are running around 20 and they stay stable at that, so I'm happy with that, and we're going to just keep letting it go. Soft corals are doing good, fish are happy, water stays pretty clear for being, this thing doesn't always get as maintenance as like I should. I'd say I'm the lazy reefer on a lot of this stuff some days. I just work too much, but try to keep up on everything. And thanks for joining me on my tour of my 125 reef tank. We'll leave you with the one cool thing that the current USA lights do, which is more of just a party favor than it is actually a usable thing, but we'll show you some thunderstorm modes. Appreciate you guys checking out my tank. Thanks for joining us at the Laws Reef House. Got to give a shout out to Remy at Bahama Llama, inspiring me to finally make a video instead of thinking about it. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit a like if you liked what you've seen and you want to see more of it. Bell notification so you can stay up to date. If there's anything you want to see more of, DIYs, product reviews, you let me know, get it out there. Stocking orders, you want to see it, I'll get a video out for you, let you know how we're doing it, the mistakes I've made, the successes we've had, because we do got some good tanks going on here. Thanks for watching.